Welcome back. We're here for round 6. My apologies. We're not doing the Peter Jeff game, but we are seeing a great matchup between Nathan Benedict on the left and Dave Wiegand. And Chris Hawkins with me as well again.
Hi again. Looking forward to this game.
So, Nathan Benedict, a longtime player from Arizona. He recently came back from a 5-year absence and did quite well, 6th place in Niagara Falls, and he's going to be starting off on the left. Dave Wiegand, if you follow Scrabble, needs a little introduction. A two-time, I think, North American champion in TWL, many-time top 5, top 3 finisher in the World Championship. I believe the highest rated. Oh, well, Craig Beavers has a higher rating. And actually, Nigel, while he's near the top,
Yeah.
he's the top seed in this tournament, 2 rating points behind Nigel in the Scrabble Collins NASPA ratings. Ethan, both Form 1, as we can see. So if Nathan plays his R, which I'm not sure that he will, Dave is going to slap down 4 date very quickly. Look like he's going to, and maybe. IN is a little nicer than IR if he wants to play long with Pilar that he has set up. So it does set up, it sets up that A next to the double letter. So if those are what the 2 options he's between. Also certainly play short with something like PI, lip. I don't know that that's as strong, but it's another option.
Yeah.
Suggesting Prile, nice Collins word I didn't know. With either that or Pilar, he would face 4 date, which quickly, I don't think there's going to be another bingo there. Ethan's going to pick Noising right back up, and he's going to bingo right back. So maybe we're going to have another matchup just like the last one with bingos flying left and right. At least
could be.
Oh, I've looked this up on my Quackle. We are going to see a 3-eye bingo possibly if Nathan finds it. Better than noising would be ionizing through the eye in Pilar.
Yeah.
Not notice. I don't know that I would have thought to look through the eye as a first look without having studied that anagram. With the I assume that's some sort of New Orleans NOLA. He's got a pretty nice rack to score some points. I'm sure he can find something with that, find a good at least 30-point play. And Nathan's not going to notice ionizing.
Oh, right.
He's going to see noising there with 4 dates. Yeah, I saw it on Quackle, so did not notice that myself. But that's going to be a loss.
It's going to be costly. It's very early in the game, but that might be costly, mightn't it?
Yeah, 10 points.
It's going to change the style of game as well. Opening at the bottom row, as much as that move does.
Yeah.
2 triples, they'll get taken. You'd have thought fairly quickly.
And Dave could hit Dorky, and he's setting it up.
Yeah.
Dorky with NY. Yeah, that's another Collins 2-letter word there that comes in very handy all the time. for a parallel play.
Did you say it was 10 points less noising?
11, yes.
10, yeah, that sort of range, yeah.
Yeah, ionizing would have been 86, noising 75.
Yeah.
And old adage, for a better one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always remember Joe Edley saying that. I don't know that he coined it or anything, but I know he would say it.
Are either of these two players known for being particularly quick or slow, or?
I think of Dave as a relatively quick player, though he certainly uses his time well.
Yeah.
It's all the best. It's pretty much all of the best players do.
Yeah.
Dave, like he just did with Dorky, he's going to think for a bit. He's right, like make sure there's nothing better, and I doubt there was. And I don't know with Nathan. It's been a while since I've played with him. Nathan's going to hit obliged immediately.
Yeah.
Lewis pointing out, he might have hit it with lionizing, hooking ionizing.
Oh yeah.
Yes, if that spot could have been taken, perhaps with I don't know what Dave's best play would have been, but he ionizing would have set up that Y with Oi, the F column, but. Dave here, yeah.
I was just going to say the Dorky play puts a D in the A column for 8-letter words ending in D, which could be
re-rented.
There you go.
We might be seeing on the next turn, which I think might be a noun, but in any case, I'm probably going to hit his bingo, bango, bongo 3 in a row.
Wow. Yeah. Tenderer does take an S, yeah.
Definitely he will, because re-enter plays parallel to obliged with fur and ode. Dave, meanwhile, I would think pretty likely to that very big hotspot with obliged. I mean, you could have something simple like HOA. Mahout, MAHOUT, doesn't leave great. Up mother, I don't really know where that would go. Maybe he's just around, but
has halloumi been mentioned? HALOUMI through the L of obliged for score and turnover. Doesn't block the O, but
that's a good way to score and turnover. I didn't see that. Nice word.
32.
I don't know. Yeah, it's good. I'd be nervous. I'd be pretty nervous about leaving that open.
Yeah.
Yeah, a play like Zoa, it's going vertical. A play like with that A that you in halloumi, or even just a horizontal play that somehow hits a double letter. So it's not. I guess it's not that dangerous, maybe. So halloumi's.
Well, there's hotspots all over the board, aren't there? There's so many vowels next to doubles and triples and that. It's
the Z. Yeah, I should. Yeah, Craig points out. I was about to say the Z is gonna hit on Fez. So setting up Zoa doesn't. The Z isn't that worrisome.
No.
The J certainly would score well off that O, but
J more than the Z. Yeah, the Z. Sorry.
Halloumi would pretty much preclude most of that. But even you could. So it's not crazy to. I think it's reasonable to think about leaving it open for sure. Yeah, it makes me nervous that O in the second slot, but something to think about.
Well, his opponent's drawn 7 fresh tiles, hasn't he? So it's not like a rack that he's balanced in anyway.
Yeah, not so much the triple. It's of course possible, but
just a power tile there, yeah.
Points out And mouth. Oh, mouth. That does score very well.
Yeah.
Leaving 3 vowels, of course, but a good consideration. 42. It's interesting. Keeping more of a bingo-y leave there.
Yeah.
Completely open, and Dave is down. Off into space with re-rented on his rack. Looks like Evan's just looking around the room. I'm not interested in this rack. But
No.
he's gonna build a moat vertically. He's gonna score all right for next turn if he wants to use it. U and the I together, which is
worrying.
Yeah. And Nathan's probably going to play re-rented somewhat quickly, unless he has beautiful 9 through the TI. Or
He might look there, mightn't he?
My short Quackle sim was showing a bunch of somewhat viable options. Uma, Mahout, different parallel plays.
Oh, yeah. Mahout.
Yeah. So as quickly played re-rented, taken a pretty...
I think we're into double figures for the number of bingos in these 2 games that we've commentated on.
Then is probably about to add is that he has another U. That a second U might slow him down. I was going to amateur, not quite, but perhaps he has there. Looks like Nathan goes with the vowels first and then the consonants, each in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
At least on this rack.
Do some people study like that, vowels and consonants, when they're learning their words? I think it is a way. I think some software applications can give you that option to put the vowels and the consonants together.
I've seen that as well. It's interesting. I write my score sheet, but I don't. I use alphabetical order in general. But I guess Nathan does. I was gonna say I didn't know who. I don't know any players who do it, but it's an option at least in the software. So presumably some people do it.
Yeah, Colin Nicol in chat just mentioned that he does it. So
it says consonants then vowels. Way.
Yeah.
Gonna hit hex for 51, so it's gonna keep him within what would be striking distance, except for that Nathan is likely to play one of these bingos that the chat is suggesting.
Yeah.
Trumo, which...
Oh, sorry, Colin. I'm calling Colin in chat. Colin Nicol. It's Colin Northmore. Sorry, Colin. It's late.
Yeah, thanks coming front to us from the UK. Yeah, so coming because it's 11:30.
No, it's only 10:30, but that is late for me.
Oh, sorry.
Well, late-ish, let's say. And I haven't been drinking before you ask.
Yes. Evening Scrabble. Yeah, Nathan's looking around. You got to accumulate, like accumulate.
Yeah.
Through the Alan Pilar. Trumeau, I don't see the spot for Trumeau, but it is on his rack.
No, it doesn't fit, does it?
Lewis McKay pointing out umlauted, very nice adjective, but doesn't fit
Not quite
through that L. Yeah, so see if he spots accumulate, or if there's any other bingo. But my Quackle is showing that is going to be the only one. So if he doesn't get that off, maybe something like or umu if it goes anywhere. But I'm not sure that there's a great place to play umu, just with up.
He wouldn't play would he, and fem, GU, and FEM, keeping three vowels, two vowel and heavy.
Pretty reasonable. Definitely reasonable play.
27, but
Might get
if you pick two vowels, it would be and it opens up the double for a big score.
Yeah, you're setting your. I mean, normally there's not that many E's out, or it's possible. And as you can see, Dave doesn't have one. There's certainly E's out, but I think I'm saying 6. So you might get hit there, but probably not that hard. It's not. I mean, gov guy. So it's not great to set that up, but you could, like you said, hit it yourself with a double. So I think it's pretty reasonable play, non-bingo play.
As well as there's MEU in the same spot been suggested.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw. It's a little different than the first game, which was at least back and forth. But Kenji's pointing out in the chat, and too much strategy that's interesting in this game, being so calling it the dark side of Scrabble. That Dave's sort of just struggling with some racks. He had some okay plays, but Nathan's just sort of out in front, and there's not too much he can do, but certainly still time in the game. And now, he's set up accumulate on his rack.
Yeah.
If he's confident that it's, which I wouldn't have known accumulate like without the AC in front necessarily being in there, but it's acceptable.
It hasn't got the word, but there's a similar word, maculate, which you're talking about Countdown, me being on Countdown. That word was mentioned on Countdown in the UK just this week, and it's similar to immaculate. It's the opposite of immaculate and maculate. So you've got accumulate and accumulate. I don't know if they're opposites, but they're obviously related.
Similarly to accumulate, to heap.
Yeah.
So
is it like flammable and inflammable then? That they have the same meaning?
Yeah, it's just similar. Not as blatant, not as ungrammatical.
No.
Yeah. So Kenji definitely with a good point there on the dark side of Scrabble. I would say not that would have made much of a difference, but Moat is just somewhat questionable of a play. So there's at least something to pick back at and see. But yeah, I think as we were talking about in the first game, these aren't necessarily the most strategic battles. I don't know. The first game was similar to this in any way, or maybe it's you have these games with a lot of high, obvious equity plays. I don't know what Dave's going to do when it's on his turn. I haven't really looked.
No, I've not been looking. Sorry.
No, yeah, it's.
I don't know if he's got a dumping play, is he, or to get rid of the U and the V, or
go done through the D. Oh, depends, of course. He is going to spring for it.
He's going for it. Yeah.
Whether he wasn't sure of it or you've just taken his time to look for
could be
a better option, maybe through the P, maybe a word ending in E that would have played on the B column, but he's played accumulate, and it's going to be difficult for Dave to get back in the game.
Yeah.
Though certainly still the other blank out, and plenty of space and time in this game left.
They'll know that noising doesn't take an S, will they? Both of them. That's not a bonus line.
Yeah, both. No, Dave.
They should know, shouldn't they? Because it's an 8, so it's not like 8 hooking to 9. It's a 7 hooking to 8.
Yeah, so probably. It's just depending on I know for me, like depending on how much, I mean, Dave, I would think would be pretty strong on that type of thing,
Yeah.
for sure. Like Nathan, depending on how much he's booked up and the type of way he's booked up, he may be willing to try it. If he's not with the big lead, but otherwise, because so many, especially like switching from TWL, there's so many more INGS words.
Right.
I've certainly can look back with regret on different times I've tried. Well, all these other ING rattling takes an S, as we saw in the last game. So
yeah.
Why not noising? Try to convince myself. I think I put one on it was sludging. I tried, which did not go so well at a tournament last year.
Right.
Then direct to score. He's got wah. He's got away. He can score some points with that. So not a design. Oh, with the FEW. So he avoided any sort of disaster act that would have set him back. Pointing out Venator, which definitely satisfied the goal of hitting a nice double, scoring some, and keeping that IU we mentioned, but probably it's going to be worth it because he's got to score to try to keep some pace so that Bingos will get him back in it.
Yeah.
Hi, Omri, thanks for joining us. Yep, Dave is going to play Venator. So only found so far in these first several moves is the only one really the only one that even seemed to be, there seemed to be several options. The others seem to be pretty clear. It's got some interesting letters there with the Q to complement his U and the
that was nice keeping the U and hitting the Q with it. That's unusual.
If he can hit something interesting, he's going to be down by a bunch. The word ending in ish would fit with fuse. If you could even bingo there. I think fuse and ODAH. Like if click-ish is an 8-letter word, that would also play to an L. But if he somehow keeps that ish together, then he can maybe try to hit that. And then there's just Venators. So I just sort of liked that H hooking Oda. There's a cute little lane there. Set up quiche without the E, which is good. I believe a verb. Or quich would play. What he can do with quiche would score pretty well in a couple spots. If that were acceptable. By exactly 100. Nathan hasn't drawn terrifically, drawing those 2 I's and a second A. So, and he's still got that Y sort of saddling his rack from a bingo. He can maybe hit iron in the middle of the board there to dump off some letters. Quiche, C-U-I-S-H, which is good. I believe some sort of like a shield or something like that. And a piece of armor. So that would, score okay, but he's just blocking up so much of the board. I don't know that it's the plan is if you play quiche and Venators, or even quiche and fuse and Oda, it's unclear where he's going to go to catch up, and he's getting rid of that U for his Q. Hard open, but
if he did do that, could he play CINQ on a future? Because presumably Nathan wouldn't open up, onto the right hand triple if he played quiche. And then if you picked an N, you could play Cinq, C-I-N-Q.
That is a very good point. I miss that word all the time, so that would
I
explain.
do as well.
Yeah, so that would definitely explain it. That would be
It
a nice
relies
little one.
it relies on getting the N, obviously, but
With 2 out, a nice little 1-2 punch to sort of
it would be
then you
a
open.
bonus score over 2 moves, wouldn't it? So just about.
Yeah, exactly. And playing off some tiles to try to draw, setting up that lane through the N on the right-hand side. You may still have the lane on the B column available. So
yeah.
by the time he's done with that little maneuver, probably doesn't love it because it relies basically on drawing an N next turn or some sort of other miracle bingo with the Q, and probably just dumping QI with pi and pilar or some such.
Is the score now suggestive of these sort of Hail Mary moves, or is it still a bit early for that? Because there's a lot of tiles, well, quite a few tiles to come, aren't there? So
It's like normally it wouldn't be. You wouldn't want to do like a. I mean, it's like a half Hail Mary because it's like a half Hail Mary, right? There's other paths, but it's not great. You're relying on a lot of fortune, but he probably doesn't want to. But if he doesn't, it's just what are the alternatives to Quiche?
That's scoring. It. They're looking around. There's not else that scores, and
scoring in the 30s. Mm-hmm. Suggestion of ICH and GI, so that would go fishing for a big Q play, like a 6-letter, very high scoring play, or a bingo. So that's interesting, and that towards hook to maybe hook for a big score, like Quist or Quasi. That's sort of an interesting play as well. You're not really don't love scoring.
Very low scoring,
Don't love scoring 14 points and
14,
by 100 in the middle of the game, but that is definitely an interesting alternative. That in his spread, I mean, so looking at QI, still looking at QI. I assume with PI off the P and Pilar. I don't know where else that plays here.
If he does do it, that's where he'll do it. Yeah.
And he is going for a QI, so that's interesting. It's maybe he's going for another 2-move maneuver with Quitch, which I didn't notice until he put it down. That sets up that QUICH.
Yeah, true.
Well, and then he can leave his S for the future for Venators.
So he's going down a different path to the one that we suggested.
Exactly. So that he's holding that S. Not a great pick. Picking the other U, which he doesn't. No, he doesn't need another U at this point.
No.
But he can play. He probably can play Quitch. However you say that. Next turn, score pretty well, and then maybe hit a bingo. And Nathan might not have too much occasion to block Venators because it's going to be sort of tricky to get in the way of that. Without, well, he has his own S that he could do it, and he is going to go with Iron pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Actually, in under 10 minutes, sort of. And sometimes it makes sense. You want to, your percent of winning percentage so you might as well use all your time that you have available. That's more, I mean, at least for me, and I think for others, it's more common to use more of your time when you're maybe trailing in a game.
Have you seen Kenji's suggestion of playing PI?
Oh, no, I did not.
To set up Quitch.
Oh, that is quite interesting. I didn't see that. Thanks. Switch back. I'm switching between the chat and Quackle on my second.
He's only just suggested it, so.
Yeah. So in a GTO future, yeah. I don't know. I'd be curious what other. Right. The suggestion is sort of that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes when you would drop the I, you wouldn't as Dave wouldn't have the Q. So he would be, in theory, sometimes not having the Q and hoping Nathan overreacts, but maybe blocking that spot, sacrificing his rack, sacrificing his leave, back with some other big play that he's fishing for. Like maybe he had, I don't know, Isotine, and it didn't, well, Isotine fit, but it's some other. But my question would be, what else would he do that I play with if he doesn't have the Q? Pat is saying good game because Nathan, in the meantime, as I'm chatting about this theory.
Oh yeah, that is good game. Game over.
Yes, Nathan has drawn. Well, what did he draw? He drew N blank into his AIST leave.
Yeah.
He's got his Quitch down, but it's not going to be enough because Nathan's going to take a nearly, pretty much nearly insurmountable lead here. It's going to be pretty much over. Very unlikely Dave's going to be able to come back from whatever Nathan goes for, especially because he's probably going to hit that Venator's and take that out. It's pointing out in the chat we're close to tacticians through the C and the TI, but Nathan's going to play against, and he is got that smile on his face that says, "I drawn a lot of bingos, and I'm going to win this game." Would make his fourth of the game to Dave's just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much going to be probably the difference, unless Dave can engineer some sort of miracle.
Can you remember what the rack was? Following up, I know it's going back into a game in the middle of the game now, but the suggestion of setting up QUICH for about 80 by playing PI. Can you remember what the opponent rack was then at that point? It was all one pointers, wasn't it?
Yeah, so he played Iron. He had AAIISTY.
So if he did panic and block it, he wouldn't have scored much. And
yeah, so it's not sort of to the point. Is it a panic or is it an accurate reaction? So it's up for question, right? If Dave always has the Q, then yeah, and the U together, and then, or even with that, you better block that. If he's always retaining something like Quitch to score so well. But yeah, he would have had to play. He could have played Raya, RYA, though I guess that could potentially give back a Q play with QAIDS or QAT, but or Kanat, QANAT, but yeah, he would have blocked it almost certainly. He was up by so much, but yeah, I guess that goes to, and he had a bad right. Like often he's going to have a better rack, and he's just going to play down on that column.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to think about what the range of racks, sort of that in the game theory, and the range of racks that with, and it would have been an interesting gambit. QI was, a pretty good play in and of itself. So they have that Quitch. Just
it was 60 odd points, wasn't it, over 2 moves? So
yeah,
or nearly 60.
Explaining a little bit what I was sort of the theory behind that balancing that type of PI play with setup between two types of plays, setups and fishes.
Yeah.
If going to play Zell, he's I guess he could draw into a bingo, but it's going to be tough. Almost cubages is, I don't think that would have gone anywhere. I was thinking Buskage was good, like Bosage, BOSCAG. BUSC with a U, but that's
Oh, yeah.
not even a word.
No.
If it were, yeah. And he didn't even draw it. So yeah, just sort of playing out the string here a little bit at this point. But this will put Nathan in good position. Eight today, 8 tomorrow, and then 4, I believe 4 more for a 20-game tournament Monday.
Yeah. So you haven't played in this tournament before, have you, Sam?
No, unfortunately not. I've just never quite made it down. I did. I've been twice to New Orleans for Scrabble, both for the national championship. So in 2004, and then I guess it was 2017. So North American, but no, but it's sure anyone will tell you, or live commentary, that it's a great tournament. It's clearly a great tournament and a lot of fun from whatever it says.
I was just wondering if you had any experience of the after hours side of the tournament, which I've heard mention of as something that goes on in New Orleans.
Yeah, definitely.
In particular.
Yes, I mean certainly when I was there's a lot of a lot of after hours. People love to go for the food and the drink and the activity, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I thought it was a great location for the championships. I guess a summer and a half ago.
Yeah,
and I think that's why it's one of the most popular tournaments in the North American circuit. But so maybe who knows if it's affect people who got in last night, depending on how late they were sort of up, if that affects anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
is it one of the bigger tournaments as well outside the nationals? 140 entrants?
Yeah, definitely one of the bigger ones. 140 for Collins. I mean, it's become for Collins, right? Like as we talked about a little, but the field is really strong. I mean, we've got, I think you had said 9 players over 2,000.
Yeah.
So it's just a great field.
High quality.
About half of the top North American players, at least, especially if you exclude some of the a decent amount of the top, probably half the top North American players in Collins are there. So and we've got like Austin Shin, right, from I'm not sure where he's living, if he's living in the UK or living in New Orleans.
He emigrated in the last few weeks, I think. He played a tournament in the UK and then emigrated almost straight after.
But so he didn't travel overseas, so I don't know if anyone's traveling. I don't know if there's overseas travelers at the tournament, but definitely one of the bigger ones. Of course, Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
But and then I mean, to me, those are the two biggest. I may be forgetting.
They've drawn Essence.
Oh yes, and Senes, I believe.
Yeah.
So probably not quite enough to get back in it, but
just to make him happier than he.
Yes, yes, and for spread, which of course is vital, and
could be at the end of the 3 days.
Yeah, he might have 2 losses now, but certainly he'll be thinking about getting one of the top prizes. And
I didn't actually check if anyone. Well, one person must be unbeaten after 5 because there was 2 people unbeaten playing each other, weren't there? So
I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. So only one. Yes, Peter Armstrong is the only unbeaten right now at 5-0, and he's up against the 10th seed. Who?
Okay.
Oh, Jeff. He's going up against Jeff. Yeah, the other game, which.
Oh yeah, we thought we were going to be watching.
Yeah. Going up against Jeff, and then a pack of 7 players at 4-1. Jeff at the top in terms of spread. Nathan trailing right behind at plus 444 after just 5 games, so pretty strong.
Yeah.
And yeah, those first few games, right, can make a difference in spread. Well, the whole tournament, of course, but it's right from the jump. You want to get, and unless you're doing unless the sort of the Swiss gambit of maybe sitting back in the middle and the so-called Swiss gambit of losing some games, then maybe sitting back, gaining spread.
Yeah.
And Nathan's gonna just play off a bunch of tiles, make sure he's not caught with too much with live veto. Dave's gonna bingo out probably pretty quickly. But well, Sinnes actually fits for a lot of points with Wiegand, though Dave is not spotting it. So
he didn't
Dave,
look. He didn't follow your.
Sinnes not a word.
Didn't follow your advice. No, I think you're okay. He didn't follow your advice of once you find a bonus, look for a better one, did he?
Oh no, he didn't. Yeah, and it's Essence. So it's gonna cost him some spread points. Maybe, I don't know, 20 points.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't added it up, but it's a new word, Sinnes. So it was added to the most, well, quote unquote new. It was added to the most recent TWL update, which I wasn't playing as much for a bit. I think it was a couple years ago.
Right.
Nathan sort of got a lot of good letters. So, but yeah, it was a good game for Nathan Benedict. He found all his bingos and accumulate, pretty key.
So was it 11 bingos in the end across 2 games, something like that,
Yeah.
11 or 12? So
I
we've
mean,
been spoiled.
I got 6 in this one, 4 to Nathan, 2 to Dave.
Yeah.
In the previous,
I think it was 6 or 7, maybe.
I didn't count them up, but definitely a lot.
Well, there were 3 bonuses played through rattling, so that's 4 bonuses. There was an early bonus, and
there
then
was hand over, cogitate,
and then the one below cogitate. What was that one? It would have been through the
infidels.
Yeah. So that's
to finish the game.
Tail of the outboat. Yeah. So
at least 5 and more. So yeah.
Anybody joining the stream for the first time, not all games have 6 bonuses in, I do assure you. So.
Yes, but let's say this play is definitely key, as you saw, accumulate. Evans right hitting those bingos. Asystole, thank you.
That was the one. Thank you.
That was a nice find from Jeff. They had that nice oxysalts available to him with the X as a blank, but
I think asystole is nearly as nice as oxysalt. So
yeah, it's certainly as pretty of a word in my opinion, in my subjective.
It's higher probability with the E rather than the X, but it's still a nice word, good spot.
Yeah, it didn't quite score as well, but still strong.
It wasn't double, was it? It was on a non-double word line, I think.
So that's our 2 games. There's 2 good games, and thanks for tuning in, everyone. And Chris, great to.
Yeah, and you, Sam. Always a pleasure. Might do it again sometime.
Yes. All right.